Leader of that Knicks squad goes for 15 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists in 31 minutes. Got an opportunity to just kind of watch late in that fourth quarter. Teams sweep the conference semis and conference finals. We will find out what the destination is going to be for the New York Knicks, who are now just 4 games away from winning their first NBA championship in 53 years. Here's their head coach, Mike Brown.
Have to look back, but was there a point this season where you felt like the group made a collective decision that they were going to come together and not start doing the right things, but they were going to make a decision to get to this point? Like after maybe the 2-9 stretch in January where Dolan says you got to make the finals or else or whatever, was there any point that you felt like they're starting to get it and it's less my voice and more of their voice?
It's a great question. That's good. Down the stretch, there was always a little bit of a question, whether or not we'd be able to get over the hump, But down the stretch of the regular season, I don't know, 6, 7 games to go after Landry got back. I think I started to see us play some good basketball and do some things. Do more things that were selfless or more sacrificing from the group. So maybe then, but throughout the course of the season, you have your ups and you have your downs and you have your good and your bad and your adversity that you have to fight through. And sometimes we got through it quickly. Sometimes it took us a minute to figure it out. So probably towards the end of the season when I was like, okay, I could feel it. This group they're right where we need to be at the right time of the year.
Mike, you talked during the year about the ups and downs you're going to go through. Just what you've done of this 11 games, historic numbers. Is this the peak here? Are you seeing that peak that you kind of hoped you'd get to?
Yeah, I mean, again, our group they're playing good basketball. And they're doing it in different ways, They're doing it differently depending on who our opponent is. And when you show that type of versatility on both ends of the floor, it just adds to your belief. And I've said it before, the regular season, you use the regular season to get ready for the postseason. And our guys did a hell of a job with that. Thank you, guys.
Well, you heard what Mike Brown had to say after a Knicks win. They take the Eastern Conference Finals, they sweep the Cavaliers, and they wait. The winner of the Western Conference Finals, OKC and San Antonio, sitting at 2 games apiece. Is there a matchup better, Rudy, in your mind, for the Knicks between those two squads?
Well, they already beat San Antonio in the Cup, so I think they're more familiar with them and more familiar with playing them on the grand stage and also beating them. So I think for them, but do I think it's the same kind of game or same kind? No, the series is totally different. I'm not sure, but I know this team is super competitive, and they've already proved us wrong. And I don't think anybody thought that they'll be here in this fashion. So, I can't wait to watch whatever it is, either one. And I didn't answer your question because I can't. But either way, it'll be a fun series.
But I think you're right about this because they did play in the Cup, and that's obviously a big moment. But it feels like both of these teams are a little bit different. San Antonio, I think their path to get here, we've talked about them as one of the 2-3 best teams, probably the top 2 teams in the NBA. We haven't had that conversation about the Knicks. You started this show off by saying, like, hey, maybe they're the team to beat. Stylistically, is there a team that you think they match up better with?
I think they match up better with OKC. But I don't think they should just be like, we want OKC.
Totally.
Like, that's not an easy, that won't be an easy series. But anything like the Spurs Wemby's a tough matchup for anybody. And I don't think, obviously, nobody in the league has a Wemby other than the Spurs. So if I'm the Knicks, I would like to stay away from the Spurs just because that matchup is very difficult for anybody. But, I mean, you're welcome in both teams. You feel comfortable being able to beat both teams in a 7-game series. And I don't think you shy away from any of the opportunity with either team.
If I told you before the season that the Knicks would get to the NBA championship and the choices would be San Antonio, OKC, and your response to my question would be like, yeah, they maybe match up against OKC a little bit better. Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
Like they're looking for repeat champs. They got SGA out on the floor. There's depth that's there. I know injuries are a little bit of concern for the squad, but I think it speaks volumes to just how a season can unfold for some of the best teams in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, that's San Antonio team. Especially for the Knicks, I think them having Steph Castle, who's a dog on defense, can do it on both ends, and then also have Wemby to clean up plays with their makeup, I think it's just easier. It'll be easier for them to play against OKC.
Not to belabor the point here, because I think that this is going to be a major storyline heading in. And I know I asked you this question about the time off. I would love to get your take from players, and you guys can both answer this. What do you do to stay sharp? I mean, this is a significant layoff. You get sitting here chilling for 9 days. You can't really mimic, right? Game play. It's just not the same, especially the playoff intensity. How do you stay sharp for a team that has been on fire from the perimeter?
Well, I mean, this is a team that's watching another series. They're 2-2, so it's going to be, it's going to be some more basketball to watch. But also staying in tune with your routine or whatever that is. Waking up, there's going to be practice. There's going to be some competitive practices.
Yeah.
You can't not practice or not have a competitive practice. But, there's a lot of basketball to watch. And they have to put themselves in a situation where they be able to play against either one. So that's a coaching thing.
I think it's going to be tough, but at the same time, they're professionals. They're going to stay in routine. Like Rudy said, they're going to continue to have practice. Yeah, it won't be live a lot. It won't be live reps a lot, but they will have segments throughout these practices where they get up and down and they can simulate a real type of game and who they're going to play against. But other than that, it's just staying in rhythm, staying focused. The mind is the sharpest tool you got. So, like, keeping that sharp as you can and just, rest and recover as much as you can. But knowing that, even with rest, you want to get out there and play.
Yes.
Look, dominant performance from this Knicks